Do you spend more time criticizing yourself or cheerleading yourself? See, a lot of us as men, we love to beat ourselves up. We love to criticize, that was terrible. But the problem with that is it actually brings more insecurity in our life, and it feeds on itself and it makes you worse. So this week, what we're going to do is we're going to look at two men, and these are two men from a great show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're going to look at Uncle Iroh and Fire Lord Ozai. Now, these men were brothers, and they were the best firebenders in the land. But they were two diametrically opposed people. They had two different attitudes. They approached life differently. And what we want to do is look at the way they approach their life so we can learn from it. Because you don't want to be a critic of your life. You want to be a cheerleader. And we're going to show you 3 ways to do it today. Hey guys, I'm David Maxwell from thrivingman.com, where we help you conquer your everyday chaos and live a thriving life. Well, today we're talking about insecurity. We're continuing our series. The last few shows we've been talking about insecurity because it's a big problem among men today. And what we want to do is learn how to fight it. So we've talked about the problem of it, and now we're making some videos giving you some tips and tricks of how to do it. And today we're talking about 3 keys to go from being a critic to a cheerleader. Now, what does that mean? Well, a critic is that person who puts himself down. It's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite, idiot. And then it goes from that to a cheerleader where you kind of push yourself and believe yourself in a good way. Now, understand, being a cheerleader isn't like being that grandma who never sees anybody's flaws. You recognize your flaws, but you can cheerlead yourself through them and past them. And that's what we want to talk about today. And the reason we're doing it is because how you treat yourself a lot of times comes out in how you treat others. If you're really hard on yourself, you're going to make your insecurity higher, but you're going to drive insecurity into the people around you, your wife, your children, your friends. You're going to be that person that they may not want to be around because you're always critiquing them. You're always putting them down. In your mind, you think you're making them better because that's what you do for yourself. But in the reality, you're not making anybody better. So you don't want to be a critic. You want to be a cheerleader. We're going to talk about the 3 ways to do that. The first thing you want to look at is opening up your worldview. Now, let's look at the 2 characters. Uncle Iroh. Uncle Iroh had an incredible worldview. He saw the world. He saw other people. He saw the beauty in the world. He saw the majesty of the world. He saw others. Now, Fire Lord Ozai, he didn't see anyone but himself. Everything was about him. And you say, well, what does that have to do with the worldview? Because your worldview is like wearing glasses, and that's how you see the world. You see the world based upon your own internal worldview. So Uncle Iroh cared about others, thought about others, so he saw them in the world. Fire Lord Ozai, he didn't care about anybody but himself, and guess what? That's how he saw the world. Everything was about him. Everything was about how he did. And who wants to live life like that? Uncle Iroh saw the beauty of life, saw the majesty of life, the interconnectedness of the world. Fire Lord Ozai, all he thought about was, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to be the boss. My kids are weak. Everybody around me is weak. I hate weakness. I'm going to dominate. And that's what he thought life was. And here's the problem. When you're the center of your own worldview, your self-criticism is going to be massive. All you're going to do is put yourself down. All you're going to do is think about how you're less. So it will actually increase your insecurity because then you start thinking everybody else is out to get you. We see this in leaders throughout history, leaders who become very suspicious of everybody else. Why is that? Because they're really suspicious of themselves. Their inner critique is going so strong, they don't trust anybody. They don't trust anything. So they don't know who to trust, and that worldview hurts everyone around them and ultimately hurts them. And what you want to do is have a worldview that's outside of yourself. Uncle Iroh developed that, and he changed. His worldview changed, and when that had changed, he changed. And that's what you want to remember. As you begin to open up your worldview to the outside world, to something other than yourself, it's going to change you on the inside, and it's going to help you grow past your own insecurity. The The second thing that helps you to go from a critic to a cheerleader is to build solid relationships. If you've never watched Avatar, The Last Airbender, you should go watch it. I'll try not to make any spoilers or anything. But Uncle Iroh was a character we see who really built strong relationships. He cared about people. He especially cared about his nephew Zuko, who was actually Fire Lord Ozai's son. But Uncle Iroh cared for him. He built a relationship with him. And this is especially in the early stages when Zuko was just a butt. He wasn't fun to be around. Nobody really liked him. He thought just like his dad. It's all about me. Everything's about me. Uncle Iroh saw past that and built relationships with him and other people around the world. He acted more as a father than even Zuko's father did. And we see that in how he treated not only Zuko, but others around him. Because what happened was Uncle Iroh was able to look at life through a window. You see, a window helps you to see other people. Now, let's contrast that with Fire Lord Ozai. He didn't care about anybody but himself. He didn't care about his family. He didn't even care about his children. He treated them rough. He was cold. He was distant. He was abusive in all kinds of ways. Ozai really only wanted everything to be about him. It's how he lived. He manipulated. He controlled people. And we see that in many men today. They manipulate. They control. Relationships aren't for anything other than getting ahead, tools for power, things to make them feel better about themselves. Ozai looked at the world like a mirror. Everything in the world reflected back to him. He didn't see other people. He didn't even care about other people. You don't want to be that guy, because the ultimate truth about Ozai was he was alone. He focused on himself. He thought it's all about me, and nobody cared about him. Nobody liked him. Nobody wanted to be around him. He was actually a very lonely man in that state. Where Uncle Iroh, everybody loved him. Everybody wanted to be around him. Now, it doesn't mean Uncle Iroh didn't grow and change and learn. He did. He kept doing that. And he was a boss in many ways. But what we have to understand is that relationships are very important for you to get out of that self-critique mode. When you're thinking about others, you're not really critiquing yourself. It's not all about you. So you want to look at life out a window and not in a mirror. The third thing you can do to go from being a critic to a cheerleader is to find your joy. Find what you're into. That's one of the things that I love about Uncle Iroh. He was relaxed. He was warm. He was jovial. He was actually very wise. He was patient. He enjoyed the simple pleasures of life. One of his favorite things to do was drink tea. I love that because it's one of my favorite things to do. There's something about drinking a good cup of tea that just kind of relaxes you, helps you to see the beauty in the world. That was Uncle Iroh. He found joy in life. And guess what? That doesn't happen by accident. If you're going to find joy in life, you have to choose to find joy. You can't wait for joy to surprise you. It doesn't really happen like that. You've got to go looking for it. You've got to think, what am I going to do to make time for things that are important to me? What is important to me? A lot of men never even think about that. They're too busy working and slaving and trying to be the best. And they never relax. They never realize that life's good. There are a lot of good things in life. You say, well, sometimes life is hard. Yeah. That's when you really want to recognize the goodness of life. You want to have a sense of humor. You want to be able to laugh. You want to be able to see the joy in other people. And that's what Uncle Iroh did. He knew his joy. Now, Fire Lord Ozai, no joy at all. He was cruel. He was arrogant. He was ruthless. He didn't care about other people. He only cared about himself. He was cold and calculating. He would have fits of rage. And he did that to manipulate and control people and to get his way. There was no joy in his life. And a lot of men today think they should be that way. They think that's what an alpha male does. An alpha male goes after what he wants and he gets what he wants. The problem with that is one day you won't be the alpha anymore. And other alpha males are going to take you down because you're by yourself and nobody cares about you. Everybody just wants to replace you. That's a dangerous place to be. It's a lonely and sad place to be. Fire Lord Ozai did not have a good life. Uncle Iroh had a great life. He enjoyed life. Why? Because he found his joy. So I would encourage you, what brings you joy in life? What hobbies do you have? What kind of positive habits are you into? I'm talking about things that build you up, not tear you down. You want to look for those things. You want to find those things because those are the things that make you really realize life is good. C.S. Lewis one time had a quote. He said, he can't find a book long enough or a glass of tea big enough. I love that quote because C.S. Lewis was like, these are things that make me happy. When you find your joy, it's going to make your life better and it's going to make it easier for people to want to be around you. So guys, closing out the show, let's understand that being a cheerleader is really about focusing on other people and not yourself. When you're always criticizing yourself, critiquing yourself, what you're doing is you're looking at yourself all the time. You're never looking at others and you're kind of missing out on life. Uncle Iroh knew his joy. He had good relationships. He had a good worldview. All of those things helped him think of others. And that's what you want to do. What are you doing to help other people with their life? What are you doing to help other people live their life? If you're having issues in your life, if you're battling, I'm depressed all the time, I'm lonely, I'm sad, then I would ask you, what are you doing for someone else? What are you doing to help someone else? It's not all about you. Life is not all about you, but your life can impact others. Uncle Iroh realized at that point in his life, an important point in his life wasn't all about him. He started looking at others, thinking about others, and what happened? He had a much better life, a much more peaceful life. He became a cheerleader and not a critic, and you can too. Hey guys, hope this helped you. If you need more resources to help you grow as a man, check out thrivingman.com. We have different courses and videos, free stuff, paid stuff, coaching one-on-one, things to help you grow and develop as a man. We want you to thrive in life, and that's what Thriving Man is all about. We'll see you in the next show.